Hi, welcome to Ski Forever Yoga. I'm Carl. Thanks very much for joining me on your mat today. This session is going to focus on runners. My good friend and fellow Canadian Janet on the east coast of Nova Scotia does a lot of running, and she says she's looking for a routine that can help her open up some of her muscles and do the endurance part of running with a little more fun and stability. So let's start in mountain pose. 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's start with a forward fold. This is going to help with the hamstrings and calves. Arms out and flat back to halfway. And just let the weight of your head take you down to the ground. You can put your fingers to the left, back to the center, to the right. And as the weight of your head takes you down, you'll feel those hamstrings loosening up and opening up. Don't force them. Just let the weight of your torso open them up a little bit. You'll also feel that in the calves. Fingers on the mat, and you can come up off the heels and back down. Abdomen tucked. Reaching behind those calves. Gently pulling the torso down, keeping the knees bent to your comfort level. And then we'll roll back up gently, one vertebrae at a time. Oh, let's roll those shoulders one way and then the other way. Now let's focus on the hip flexors that really help with the stride. So you want to open up the front. We're going to start in a low lunge. So left knee and top of the foot goes back, right foot on the mat, and we're opening up the hip flexors. You feel it through here. This really helps with the running stride. You can put your hands down some blocks if you want, and let's bring it up and gently lean into that knee. And back up. We'll do the other side. Left foot forward, right knee down, weight on the top of the foot to keep some of it off of the knee to protect the knee, and once again opening up that hip flexor. Really helps with the running stride. Hands down onto the balls of the back toes, and we'll just lean forward into that knee. And back up. One more move that's also going to help with the stride by opening the hip flexors. Let's do our high lunge. Gives you a slightly different take on the hip flexor opening. And just give it some time, and don't give it too much stress. Just gently increase the burn a little bit. You don't have to overdo these. You want your muscles to open up slowly and gradually. And we'll do the other side. Opening up this a little bit more for that stride, that running stride. And back up. Now for strength and stability, we're going to go into Warrior Two. So from Warrior Two, hands are out, 50-50, back foot at 45, knee over the ankle, and we're opening up the inner thighs. Helps with your strength, helps with your stability, and with your running pace. We'll go to the other side. Warrior Two. And from here, we'll straighten out that left leg and we'll go into triangle. Rotating that back hip backwards, reaching forward as far as you can, and we'll come down and open up. Gives you much more of an opening in the left inner thigh on this side. Great for the stability, great for the strength when you're running, and helps with some of the impact absorption, which of course is a big deal for runners. You want to make sure you're doing good to your body and minimizing the impact. And we'll do that triangle on the other side. Rotating the hip back, reaching forward, and the triangle pose also helps with mobility and balance. Once again, give it time for those muscles to open up. And rotate back up. You're in a wide-legged forward stance. Heels a little bit out, toes a little bit in. And we're going to go back and forth one side to the other. Give the ankles a little bit of a workout. And once again, the inner thighs. The ankle strength is important. Once again, for properly absorbing the impact of your stride. And from here, let's just do a tree pose, focusing on the ankles once again. Left heel can be just above the right ankle, it can be on the calf, or it can be on the inner thigh. Pick your spot on the floor or the wall. Do not put the foot on the knee. You want to make sure you're protecting it. And you'll feel the shaking in that ankle that's on the ground. That's building strength in the ankles, once again, to help with the stride and absorbing that. Other side, heel above the ankle, heel to the calf, or heel up to the inside of the thigh, pushing in with the insole, pushing against the insole with the inner thigh. Abs tight, and pick your spot for balance. That shaking in that ankle, it's good to build the strength that runners really appreciate. And back down. From here, we're going to get onto our backs, onto the floor, and let's once again focus a little bit on a deep hip release. First, we'll start with a bridge to loosen it up a bit. You want your tailbone lower back and back flat on the ground. You can put your hands at the side, put the weight into your heels, and you're going to lift up for your hip raise, bridge pose. You'll feel that in the thighs. Great for the lower back if you're getting any impact resonating into your spine. This will help reduce that. Build strength around the lower back and the mid back, the thorax, the lumbar and the thorax. And gently roll down. One more time. Up for the bridge pose. You don't have to necessarily use your glutes. They'll want to take over. They're the strongest muscle in that area. And one vertebrae at a time coming back down. Now let's get into a deep hip release. We're going to do figure 4. This is pigeon pose on your back. You can also do it on the front. I prefer to do it on my back. Protects my knees. Reach between the gap. You've got your right foot bent over your left thigh. Reach into the gap and push the right leg out with the right elbow and bring the left leg in through the gap. You can lift that up. And down. And if you want, you can also keep your back flat on the floor. We'll switch to the other side. Figure 4, left foot bent and over the right thigh. Reach into the gap, grab the right leg behind the thigh, under the knee, and draw it in. You're feeling that in the left glute. And you can lift the right leg up and down a few times. If you want, you can bring the chin up. Try not to curl too much. You want to lift the back up while trying to keep the tailbone still on the mat. And we'll lower that one down. On the flat of our backs, let's do some windshield wipers. Knees to the right, push into your heels, knees to the left, pushing into those heels, and back and forth. And let's rock up to a seated position. Easy seat. And we'll take the left hand on the right knee, spine straight, and a supine twist. Looking back to the right over the right shoulder. For our wind down. Making sure that spine is straight. Right hand on the left knee. Looking over the left shoulder. Arms overhead. Back into your easy seat. And we'll finish off as we started. Thinking about the next great run. One deep breath. In through the nose, filling the abdomen, then the lungs, and then out through the mouth. Out through the mouth. Pushing the air out all the way back down into the abs. Hope this helps, runners. Great to see you on your mat again. I'm Carl. Thanks for joining Ski Forever Yoga. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.